Thank you, Watchwoman. You're doing a good job on your cloud videos, by the way. Keep looking up. You're going to catch more and more. The sky was covered today. Ooh, you'll love this show then, being a meteorologist. Wait till you see how all this stuff ties in. Something's coming, something's coming, something's coming. This next scene, look at this. The jaws of death. Oh, come on, really, you guys? So ridiculous. All for a buck. Alright, howdy folks, welcome back. I told you I would be back. The signs are all around. Alright, let's get going here. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming by and spending some time with our precious family here. As you get to know me, you see how precious this family is, truly is. Okay? Now, let's see here. We're already here at April 22nd, 2024. Let's get this loop playing. We're missing a little data, but there's a shot right there at the bottom. Another one, a gap in data, this one, and then a third one. So I'll let that play for a minute and let your trained eyes see, be the judge too before I start pointing anything out. All right. All right. Okay. So let's catch this opening frame. Next frame. There we go. So opening frame 0, okay, an event already underway. You can see our object right here kind of moving out. The teardropped like bow shock type tail effect that we've seen plenty of times. What I want to do real quick here is just pull this one up real quick because it's right there. Pull it over. All right. Hopefully you can see our nice little round object right there. Okay, got plasma around it. It's trailing. It seems to be the secondary object or a trailing satellite type object to whatever was up front here. Okay, so that's your very beginning right there. So we're already starting off with that at 0, 100 right there with this event already underway and leaving the frame. So let me just adjust a little better for you guys. All right, there we go. So as we continue on, that goes out of frame. You see this dent in the instrumentation. There's another one right there that it's reacting to. Here we can go zoom in on that one too real quick. You can see right in this zone right there is another object putting a dent in the instrumentation right there. Okay, so secondary object there. Let's just keep going. You can see it there. Moving on out. Most of our events were down here, so let's just kind of keep clicking away. Let me get it a little bit better for you guys. There we go. Then we have this event. And you can see the dent in the instrumentation. We have an object right here covered in plasma. Here's our ghost image. Let me continue here. There's probably something going on over there as well. Come back here, you. I'm not here to play games. Again, the instrumentation reacting to this one. The little ghost image going by there. All right, let me back out of this a little bit more. Okay. And slide it back over. All right, so here's our gap in data. All right, note we're at 1236 and our event has already just left the frame. Now, here we are at 1401 with the event midway underway. This looks very similar to the other event, two objects again. And then let's just go ahead and zoom in on this one. Oops. Fit a little bit better there. Right in here, this little round object, you can see the trail going behind it here. This is the ghost image of the frame before. So when our object was back here, you can see there was on the very front with our wake going back behind it. Again, another one over here. This ghost image is of this one here. So let's go to the next frame. You can see this round object right down here. Another one making an indentation right here. So looks like there was two side by side right here. I'll let you be the judge of that as well. You guys can come over here and look at this on your own as well. I suggest you do, because that way you get a little confirmation of your own. Same with the cloud videos. Wait until you capture something yourself. That's when you get confirmation. You see all this stuff on my channel, but then when you capture something yourself, all of a sudden now you have confirmation. Now here we are with another event down here, and clearly you can see our object there. Ghostly image of another one back in here, maybe even a third one back there, it looks like. All right, I'll let you be the judge as well. Maybe there's something up in here making an indentation. Let's go the frame before that real quick. All right, you can see this main one coming out right there. The next frame, it jumps. But here you can clearly see another object right there. And I think that was the rest of the loop. So let me zoom back out. Okay, so there's a lot of little objects in there. And then there's also another event over here that we didn't cover. So right there's another set of objects in that one. And then this one up here as well. So let's come on over to this one right there on the side. Okay, you got something right in here with plasma trailing behind it here. Let me, I went a little too zoomed in there, sorry. I want to be able to kind of use the instrument at the same time. All right, well, we're going to just have to zoom out a little bit and continue on. So there's this event over here as well. And then as we proceed, I want to get that other one at the top, at the very end, right here. There's a great shot right there. Oh, wow. I should have had that for the thumbnail. All right, let's get it really big and in your face. First, this side. Okay, you can see our object right here, round, plasma or magnetic field around it. Okay, now look at it over here. Oh dear. What do we have here? That's a crystal. Wow, look at this shot, you guys. I'm going to have to zoom in just a tad bit harder for you on that one. And then we're going to go boom, boom. All right, that's as close as I can get for you. Whoa, come back here. All right, I'm going to let that sit there for a second, and I'll let you be the judge of what you see in there, okay? That's quite a shot. I didn't even know that was in there until just now. So there's our shot of our object. You see the plasma hitting the backside of it, going around it, surrounding it. Okay, you see our wakes and our plasma wakes that come off that we used to seeing. Okay, now you can see a little more crystal clear, a little more cookie cutter. Right there, that's a great shot. Thank you, Lord, for the shot right there, huh? Okay, so if there's any question about there being other celestial objects that orbit our sun, much like we do, okay, much like our planet does, I don't know why it's so hard for people to grasp the concept that there would be another planetoid out there, but there it is, interacting with the sun. Okay, and it's not just this one, there's a bunch of them. I just showed you other ones previous to this, okay? So it's not just one planet X. There's all kinds of little moons and satellites and debris and all kinds of stuff. You see a demon, that's okay. If you see a demon, It's all good. Pray to Jesus, all right? That's another reason why you should stick around for the spiritual report, because all this other stuff is so disturbing for your brain that you need help with that. So, anyways, it looks to be that quite a shot here. I'm at a loss for words. I'm going to have to use that for our thumbnail there. Breaking news, headlines. Another planet orbiting our sun captured in a satellite today. Oh, never mind. That would never make headlines. Only here at this channel does it. But anyways, you can see it right there. I mean, NASA, you got some splaining to do. Okay, so as we back out there, that was our last event right there coming off the top. So not only do we have this one crystal clear right there, but up here as well in the corner we got the other one. So two at the same time. Hopefully you can see that. And brighten it up a little bit. Oh yeah, you can have the whole thing. I got another. Okay, love you, bud. Come wake me up like an hour before we go. Okay. All right, so anyways, back to the show. Sorry for the slight interruption. You can crystal clear see this one, and then there's a secondary one that's over here that we just investigated. Okay, so there is more than one object. And if there could be one, why couldn't there be more, right? So now, whoops. Did not mean to do that. Come back here, you. All right, so our final, I think that's our final frame. Yeah, that's 102 of 102. Okay, so maybe if we could get lucky here, let's go back and see if we can catch tomorrow's, if we get any new data yet. Yep, there it goes right there. Oh, wow, some really great shots there. Okay, let me get adjusted here, you guys. We're going to have to dive in here a little bit. So let's just pause it somewhere. Well, look at this. All right. So there's 13 frames. You can see there's 13 frames here. This is one of 13. We're continuing on from where we picked it, or where we left off. Okay, let me go ahead and just zoom in here like this and go. Look at that shot right there. Okay. Clearly see our black round spheroid object, lots of plasma around the backside, the dent in the instrumentation that we're used to seeing, our main blast radius right here, okay? You can see the teardrop. This is a cookie cutter textbook case of an object. Nice and crystal clear right there. So, what we should do, really, is put this into motion and then watch it. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Nope, nothing going on there. Okay, so I'm being sarcastic, you know. Okay, so quite the report tonight, huh? I'll just kind of let that play for a second. All right, now let's come on over to the solar ham here, and we'll zoom in on this. Okay. Now, here's your GOES X-ray flux for today. Our box for today, you can see our activity that we had here. Pretty bumpy road. We already took a little peek under her skirt into the next day, and that was our little object that we just witnessed right there. So, not only did we witness an object interacting with the sun, but now we're witnessing the spike on the X-ray flux. Okay, so that's indicating that we had an event. This is just like the other event. It's residual or side effects. Not every single one of these is an object, but that one surely was, right? I'll leave that up to you. I'll let you decide. Okay. Now back to our report. We still have lifted indices. Okay. This is very concerning. It's been lifted for quite a while. We're seeing these M flares pop off. All right. We just saw that object right here, induce one. Objects are interacting with the sun, causing our activity. All right. This side of the sun seems to be where all our activity and our objects are. Back to this though, 99 on the C flare, 75 for M flare, X flare potential 20. That might go up a little bit, maybe 22 or 23. Well, 23 tomorrow, so we'll see. But as you can see here, we've seen a lot of interactions with small satellites interacting with the sun. Wait until something big comes and interacts with the sun, and then we might see an X flare. So potential's out there. Okay. The 3-day geomagnetic forecast still all good, all clear and stuff, but that could change. I still think we have something inbound, but we'll see here. Anyway, all these M flares were 2.2, a 3.4, a 2.8, and a 3.6. We have a massive amount of sunspots going on right now. We have that big complex of sunspots, as well as three that are, getting dangerous. This 3639, 3645, and 47 there. Beta, gamma, all of them there. Okay, so any one of those could go beta, gamma, delta and get X-ray potential, X flare potential. And up our KP index. All right, so we did take on a little energy here. It tapered off though, so now we're not getting blasted by the sun so much. You can see back here in the history, we had a little absorption event there. Our current auroras are pretty faint at the moment. Here, we'll even come pop these open. It's not doing it justice. There we go. All right, so your auroras are pretty faint right now, which is good. We don't need to be taking on a bunch of energy again. This is same report kind of from yesterday. All right, they just added a new date to it, but the solar disk is full of sunspot regions with the addition of 52, 53, 54, 55, and 56 on Sunday. All right. Same like yesterday, we had the growth of sunspots around that rash area. But I don't think there's much on record because they didn't say anything was heading our way. And even this activity today down below here, something might be coming our way from this. There's another object right there too. See that? See how they sneak through to get your attention over here while another one sneaks down here? All right, so anything that comes out of this region down here has potential to come our way, and we saw like 3 good things coming out of there today. Anyways, that's why I wanted to come over here. Apparently, they're not tracking anything on this one, nothing on this one, so that may change. It'd be interesting to see any one of those 3 eruptions today. Just any one of those 3. How come they're not on here? All right, well, it is what it is. Maybe we'll catch it tomorrow. Let's move on. The BZ component, we covered all that. There's your rash, very complex area. Let's come on over here to space weather. I've got questions about this tool he's using. Do they splice data out of it? Let me ask you this. How long have sun halos been going on and moon halos? Has that always happened? Okay, the sun and the moon halos are from dust and particulates that are in the air now from all our volcanic activity. All right. And then there's another factor in our halos as well. Okay. We'll get to that later. But let's see. What was the other question there? Let me ask you. How long has the sun halos been going on? Well, they had a rash of them back in the 1500s when this activity was going on back then. So we can get into that. It's glad you're asking these questions. Hang out here a little bit and you'll see. We'll go through that stuff. All right, back to our report though. Sorry. I like to interact with my audience sometimes. Okay, so the CME report, NASA model of recent CME. Ooh, that's one. Let's see this model here. Okay, same empty model. Maybe I should read the report. NASA model of a recent CME activity suggests that a solar storm could graze Earth's magnetic field during the early hours of the 26th. Okay, so I just showed you an empty model, and here they're saying could get grazed on the 26th. Okay, the slow moving CME is heading mostly south of our planet, but its northern flank could deliver a glancing blow sufficient to spark a G1. All right. This little thing that keeps shooting off is constantly crackling. It's the rapid fire plasma jets. Sunspot complex, not sunspot region. Sunspot complex AR 37 or 38 through 47. AR 36, 38 through 47 has been in almost constant state of eruption for days. This animation from earlier today shows multiple plasma shooting into space in only a few hours. So, let that play for a second. Well, picking it up, but that other image is a little better. All right, since last week, a dozen of these jets have flown away from the sunspot group. All of come back here, you guys. Sit back down. Who's throwing paper airplanes? All right, back to class. All right. Since last week, dozens of these jets have flown from the sunspot group. The magnetic structure of the sunspot complex is guiding debris to the south. Okay, that's good. Just far enough to miss our planet when the CME passes nearby. All right, good. So, even though we're getting glancing, the energy is passing south of us. So, that's good. We don't need to be taking on any direct shots. An exception might be on the way. One of these jets emitted on April 22nd might have an Earth-directed component. All right, so we'll see. The devil comet perihelion recovered that last night. All right, so let's move on now. Let's come on over here to the Schumann. And as you can see, we have had another event. Okay. We had these short little pulses where it stabbed the brakes for a minute and came out of it okay. Stabbed the brakes again, it's grinding again. We come out of it, start pumping along, a little continuity for a second. It gets weak. And then bink, bink, and another big grinding session that just ended not too long ago. Okay, so let me just refresh this data, make sure we're getting our latest added bars to it. Oh well, that was it. It went down. The site's down now. I shouldn't have refreshed it, but we'll move on. Now, come on over here. You can see those spikes, which means we had pressure build up again. All right, so let's come on over here. Zoom into China. Okay, so right now, this is their current conditions. About 8 hours ago, though, boom. It was nice and dark in that area. You see, we have a lot of SO2 coming out of the ground. A lot of these spots are very intense. Black, see this black diamond in there? That indicates intensity, the maximum on the scale. A lot of these black dots around here. Okay, so China is undergoing a lot of pressure underneath. All right, same over here in India. They're having some intense spots popping off here, over here in Europe as well. Okay. We come down here, look at Java. Okay, this region has a lot coming out of here, very dense. You see the winds kind of blowing it a little bit offshore right here, but all in all, we have a A lot of pressure down there. Okay, we come over here to America. Zoom on in. Right here, one side of the nation bleeding out, the other side clearing up. As if it weren't a hint or a clue that we have a nation divided. It's divided as far as sulfur goes, huh? Now, since this was 8 hours ago, we had a buildup of pressure. Now, current conditions. See how the pressure dropped right there? Let me do it again. Put it right there. 8 hours ago. And now. All right. Keep that in the back of your mind, because when we come over to the earthquake report, we had a big series of earthquakes right here off of Taiwan that relieved a bunch of pressure in this area. Before the earthquake, after the earthquake. Okay, I want to come back over to the ocean currents. I need to check out this. I need to monitor this because this is getting a little dicey now, all right? We're living on the edge now. So here we are, this big hot pocket right here off of the coast of Japan. We got this region out here, almost looking like a big old rim of a volcano there, right here. But Tamumasi, the biggest volcano on the planet, looks like it's heating up down there, heating up the water in that region. Okay, that's not, there's Hawaii there. So this is out by Tamumasi. All right. What I wanted to look at was Taiwan here, because see all the yellow? There's a lot of heat coming out of the water, the ocean floor right there, indicating a lot of pressure in that region, right? And that's where we had our volcano or our earthquake activity today. So as we kind of pull back, you see this is all unseasonal hot water up here. This is all volcanic activity induced, heating up the water. Okay. The rest of this over here, this is getting a little wonky here. Let me put the current back on there. Our Gulf Stream is getting kind of wonky now. And look at this big old patch of hot water out here. What's a big patch of hot water doing way out here? The Gulf Stream is acting kind of weird now too. So I'll let you be the judge of that, but you can sit there and look at that for yourself. And that's not our normal Gulf Stream. Something's wrong. All right, now I want to come over here and get you over to the sand particulates. Wait, I want the air at 850. I want the particulates, and the sand is over here. All right, so here is our massive sandstorm coming off the coast. Wait, this is that old. This is the 15th again. Oh no, maybe it's not. What? Oh no, 17th now. What's up with this thing, dude? I want the 22nd. There we go. For some reason on the sand one. All right, back to our report here. You can see we have this big massive plume that's being pushed up now across the Mediterranean. All right, so big sandstorm being, this plume of sand, instead of being pushed across the Atlantic, is now headed north. So instead of going west, it's changed direction, and we have a huge plume of sand that's heading up towards Europe. So expect all these countries right here to be darkened skies by massive sand plume here. Okay, we have another small sandstorm going on over here in Saudi Arabia, this one over here at the Caspian Sea, and this other one over Gobi Desert. So, as we pull back and kind of just centrally locate it, I'll leave it like that for you for a minute. You can see that we have multiple sandstorms, a very large one going on right there that's been going on since November last year. So, something's wrong with the planet. Okay. Electromagnetic static electricity clings to the silicon, which is sand. It gives it a static charge, making it not lighter than air, but very light. So a gust of wind, with our increased winds now, will kick up this lighter than usual sand, and that is why we're having sandstorms in the wintertime. What else did we want to get to here? That's good. Do we need to do SO4? No. Okay, I think we're good there. So, I wanted you to remember the pressure release over by over in this region in China because of our little weak spot acting up right here. This is our new pressure release point. Okay, like remember we were talking about holes in the balloon. We pump more air into it. Well, here's one of our old holes acting up again, one of our old weak spots acting up again. And there were some pretty good sized quakes. The 6.0 there, and this other one was a 6.1, probably a little bit bigger, 6.2. I want to click on that, but it'll might jam things up. And then just look at this flurry of fives and 5.4s and 4.5s and 5.8. That's almost a 6 right there. 5.2. So just a ton of fives here and mid-range fours. So that's a big flurry of pressure being released right there at our fulcrum point, where there was a bunch of pressure right next door here at Japan. We also saw all the hot water in this region. Okay, keep reporting on this because this is a weak spot, and should be no surprise to the people here at this channel. When you saw these reports earlier today, you understood what was going on. Yep, that's a fulcrum point. That's a weak spot, path of least resistance. We see pressure right here next door at China all the time. We see hot water in the channel. They're fluctuating from hot to cold, back to hot. So this it's not predictable, but it was kind of predictable. It's very easily, understood, let's just say. Hard to predict these, but you can make sense out of it. Over here at this fulcrum point, this one hasn't lit up in a little bit, but there's two quakes there. A 5.5 today there, and a 5.2 here. So some energy being released at this part of the, please back out, at this fulcrum point, at this part of our system right here. Okay, let's get back down to our regular report, starting over here. We had our deep quake today. Please pull this up. A 4.7 down at 558. So we're used to seeing mid-range fours. Here's a little bit higher at 4.7. Nothing entering the system right here. Very quiet. The only quake we have seen in a while in this front part of the system is this right here, 4.4 down at 10. So a little bit of energy being scrubbed right there. Let's get this one too here in the catcher's mitt. A 4.3 down at 35. So this energy came down right into the catcher's mitt. Boom. I agree with Dutch on that. That thing is nature. Look, you can see the strike zone, just the ball coming in. Pew. All right. So look, boom, there's the ball in the mitt. It just came through the strike zone. Pretty cool looking, huh? Strike one. All right. So a little energy came down that way, a little bit up through there, but a lot of the pressure is being released in this whole vicinity here. Now, we're always reporting on Java, and look at all the quakeage around Java here, starting here, 4.5 down at 155. This one's a 4.0 down at 301, consider that a little semi-deep. That's halfway down for a deep quake. Then right here off the coast, let me get just a little bit closer here because we got more than one. Now, here's Java, our purple island of pressure release. Okay, we have multiple volcanoes going off here, and now we have earthquakes 5.3 down at 35, and another 5.2 down at 53. So some energy being released in this area. And right next door at this. This might be, let's just make sure this is back up. All right. It's down at 301. That's not a volcano at the surface. Okay, so let's move on here. Thank you for your patience. Now, up here at Sumatra, we have volcanoes going off on this island as well. And where is the Marapi? Okay, so real quick, you see this big crater, this lake right here that's an old extinct crater? Right next to it, right, is Marapi, M-A-R-Api, this one right here that's going off on our volcano report all the time. Let's pray this one doesn't go off, okay? But just outside of where that volcano is, just upshore a little bit, more pressure being released, mid-range 4 down at 85. Okay, so a lot of pressure being released in this region. Earthquakes as well as volcanoes. Same with up here. We have this whole flurry of earthquakes right here. Seems to have calmed down now, all right? So I need this back. Please, Lord. Can we have it back, please, Lord? Anyways, I wanted to show you the Schumann because it correlated with this. We had to build up a pressure. We had this flurries of quakes. Then the pressure went down. We saw the buildup of pressure in the SO2, the release of these quakes, and then it dropped down. All right, so the pressure's kind of dropped off for a while. That's why I wanted to show you on the Schumann here. Let's see if we can try a new one. Ain't gonna work. What am I thinking? Yep, site is undergoing something. Yep, dying. All dying. All right, well, anyways, since this quake swarm, it relieved a bunch of pressure down below. The CO2 level, or SO2 levels, are dropped because some of the release of pressure. That's a lot right there. Okay. Now, let's move on to, please, Lord, let the volcano page work. All right. Excuse me. Already going into the 23rd here. Santa Guido, Semeru, Sangay, Luato, Loa, and B. There's Luatobi that we're always reporting on. That's the mountain right there. See a little pyroclastic flow going down it right there. Explosive eruption at Luatobi on the volcano goes on. Occasionally, gray ash plumes to continue to be generated. 100 meters above the crater. Okay. Luato Low. 5,000 feet. Semeru on the island of Java, 14,000 feet. Okay, that's a lot of pressure being out of that area. We had quakes and we had some big blasts. Santa Guido, 13,000 feet. Sangay, 22,000 feet. Sabancaya, probably a good blast out of that one. It's always a pretty decent height. Let's get into the 21st, which was and now isn't anymore. Come on. Please, Lord, let the 22nd work. All right. So, Bartabunga added to the list. New volcano added to the currently active list. Bangana also active now, added to the list. Bangana's was 7,000 feet today. Okay, please, Lord, let me scroll. 7,000 feet out of Luatobi. Simaru, 14,000 feet. Ducono, 9,000 feet. Uh, Raung or Wrong, however I pronounce it, it's wrong. Read more, probably still, minor explosions there, minor explosions. So, Popocatépetl, 18,000 feet. Santa Guida, 13,000. Fuego, 14,000. Sabancaya, 25. And all of these, Sibangana here should be over there. Watch out for Cotopaxi, Etna, blowing smoke rings and stuff last week. Watch her out for some of these Gamma Llama. All of these are currently erupting, so. But any of these could hop over to that list. Nevada del Ruiz should be over here. This was a different one that kind of popped on the list here a couple weeks back. Poas in Costa Rica. Here's Wrong in East Java. Should probably be over there. Rincon de Vieja in Costa Rica. Watch out for. And Uluwam, that one produced the biggest blast this year, so don't forget about that one. No, go back. All right, so that's basically our volcano report. Now let's get on over to our forecast, and then we can get into the rest of the report. I don't have any. I can get this going here. All right, there we go. Oh, thank you for liking and sharing. That blesses you when you do that. You know that, right? Not only does it bless the person who receives it, but it blesses you for sharing. You'll understand how that works here pretty soon. All right, let's let that loop play. Some wild weather on there, but I'm mainly concerned of our next event. Anything after that is subject to change. All right, current conditions, nighttime of the 22nd here. Going into the morning time of the 23rd, noon, a little bit in there maybe by noon tomorrow, but that's about it. Convection, nighttime, 24th. Snow back up in here. Watch out in there, you guys. Noontime, the 24th. Convection, nighttime, 25th, noon. Storm coming in Pacific Northwest there, noon of the 25th there. Convection, nighttime. Here's this big low wrapping up right here. Then by the morning hours, we're starting to see pop-ups in there, severe weather. So nighttime, not too bad. Little pop-ups back up in here, possibly right on the state line of Montana and the Dakotas there. But then right there, morning time stuff that might catch people off guard coming into Illinois there. There's the noon time, and there's wraparound here. There's a spiral arm coming back off this way that has severe weather up here in Canada too. So here's our QLCS, or our comma shape starting to form here with energy out front, and then this little skirt back here. You have to watch that. That'll be the convection time. So most of the severe will be in the noontime hours, and then by convection, it shows it's settling down. Change. Usually by convection, it's still kind of going. Dissipating at night. Whoops. That'll be the morning hours of the 27th right there. Going into the noontime of the 27th. Convection. So we do get some convection out of the tail. You see how this is all lifting up this way, the tail part? Right here. As soon as it moves up into that cold air, boom, we start to get convection around it, the convection of the 27th there. We get convection at convection. That's why I call it that time of the night, because that time of the day. So now here we are, the nighttime of the 27th. We have this breakaway tail. It's still the tail of this part right here, this energy, and it's being peeled away from this current storm that's rotating right here. So that could be very dangerous right there, that pull away event right here. So watch out around Missouri, Iowa, back into Kansas. All right. I would say this whole area right here, not just this patch, because this can shift back, forward, up, down. But this event right here is pretty close getting to the 27th here. All right. And then you see these speckled pop ups on the backside here. So that's a very potent low right there. Back up just a little bit. You see it kind of, there's convection the 27th, and then nighttime, going morning hours of the 28th. You see this Y shaped, okay, quasi-linear storm fronts going right here with, deep snow, heavy snow on the backside here. And that'll be the morning hours of the 28th. Convection, nighttime, morning hours. Morning hours is going to be very dangerous in those areas in the morning hours, catching people off guard. Then it goes through the noontime. Convection, it breaks into two. Now you got this on storm front right here, and then this back here. Plus, it doesn't show much down here, but I wouldn't close my eyes to that. That's convection time right there, the 28th. The nighttime, okay, you see how that area just blossomed at night? That's why I say, tell by this curvature and the way the storm is shaped, watch out for this part down here, even at convection, even though it doesn't show anything by sundown, by nighttime, that it's on. And that's a big, long triple, like linear with another linear. That's very dangerous right there. Multi-quasi-linear storm front right there. And then this will be morning hours of the 29th. Icing up here, snow, heavy rains, hail. Okay, every one of these storms has hail in it as well. Okay, so let's not forget the hail. It's been doing some major damage lately. We're worried about the thunderstorms and the tornadoes and stuff, but we got to remember the hail does a lot of damage too. So morning time of the 29th, I pray that this changes, or hopefully it gets better than that, not worse. That's the end of convection, nighttime, morning time of the 29th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 30th, noon, convection, nighttime, first, noon, convection, nighttime, second, noon, convection, nighttime, third, noon, convection, nighttime, fourth, noon, convection, nighttime, fifth, noon, convection, nighttime. All right, the rest of that's a little far out in advance there. So there's another big, look at that low right there, push up in there. All right, but that's clear out there at May 8th, so that's all subject to change. So basically our next event right here around the 25th here, right? That low, then this right here. Oh, it's the 27th, my bad. So right about here where these two air masses start colliding at the convection of the 27th, everybody hold on from the 27th. There's the noontime of the 28th, night or convection, nighttime, morning of the 29th, noon, convection. There's still some convection down here on the 29th. That's a long duration event of severe weather after severe event after severe event. So starting off here in Kansas, moving up into Missouri, Iowa, Illinois area, back down into Oklahoma, Illinois area, Iowa, right there still. Then scooting up into like backside of Iowa, up into Michigan and Wisconsin. Then pulling back down here, down towards Arkansas, going up through Illinois, Indiana, up into Michigan, even over here into Canada, and then dropping down into Mississippi. So that's a long duration event. kind of tapering off at the coast right there. So everybody in that region, be on alert for morning time tornadoes. Morning, severe weather in the mornings, huge hail, heavy downpours, flash flooding, possible tornadoes. So be on alert. This whole area right here on the 27th, starting on the 27th all the way through the 29th, this whole region right there, basically where the shadow of the eclipse went through. Oh, you forgot about the eclipse already? So there's that. Now look at the shadow of the eclipse. Everything seems to be kind of going in that corridor. So there's all your weather physics, your geophysics, your astrophysics, your terraphysics. Now let's get into the metaphysics, shall we? I need to X out of some of these first, pull up a couple of images. Now, yesterday we were talking about doing step work, and just FYI, for those of you who stuck around, you already did the first 3 steps. That was pretty easy, huh? And if you're really interested and you're serious, you can keep working on a step 4, which is a moral inventory of yourself, both good and bad, your good attributes. Are you honest? Or do you sometimes lie? Be honest with yourself about it, because it's only helping you. But I'll give you a couple of days to kind of work on your step 4. We're not going to take forever on the step because I want you to learn to do that step pretty quickly. Because later on, you're going to be doing a daily inventory, a moral inventory on yourself every day. A daily inventory where at the end of the day, you can look back and say, well, I did help the guy that was, outside of Walmart today, and the old lady that needed help with her groceries, and I did some spiritual accomplishments today. Oh, I was tested here, and I failed miserably, but I'll try again. Those are all things that we're working on. We're working on ourselves here. Okay, so where am I going here? I got all kinds of stuff for you guys today. I don't even know where to start. Lord, help me, help me, help me. Let's just get some stuff pulled up real quick here. Maybe some stuff from my channel. Sorry, everything's taking a second here. But while we're doing this and I'm setting up, one thing that occurred to me is the saying sorry. Okay, so this occurs to me quite often. Somebody does me wrong and owes me an apology. Well, most of us would perceive that a person would owe us an apology. Your feelings get hurt or whatever, and it's understandable. Somebody shot your dog. They owe you an apology, right? Or something like that, But a lot of people are too proud to apologize, or maybe just too timid or scared to apologize, because they know that when they do, that it admits guilt or admits that they were wrong, right? Well, that shouldn't be a problem, but it is. And I found a little tool that might help you guys. You don't have to use it, and it doesn't always work. But I have found, like, say if somebody did me wrong and, for their own good, they should apologize, but I'm not going to stomp my foot and demand one, but for their own well-being, they should probably apologize, but they're too afraid to. They can't do it. They can't muster it up. You're never going to hear an apology out of them, right? So what I have found is to start apologizing to them, even though you have nothing to apologize for. You could say it simply, I'm sorry you misunderstood how I presented, or I'm sorry you don't understand. Try not to offend them, but as soon as you break the ice with a I'm sorry, that person who was guilty, who wants to apologize, now you've broken the ice. And the moment you say, hey, I'm sorry that you took it this way, that's when they go, no, 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 I'm sorry. I'm the one that did this and did that. That's how you get your apology, and it helps the other person. Okay, they need to get that off their chest. And they just can't do it. All right. It's like jumping off a cliff. It's hard to jump off of a cliff or jump out of a perfectly good airplane with a parachute on. All right. So it's hard for people to apologize. And you can break the ice. That's what I call like kind of breaking the ice a little bit and giving them the opportunity, opening the door for them by simply apologizing yourself. They see that you're man enough to say the words, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to take it the wrong way or something like that. And it breaks the ice. And usually you get a response really quick from the other person saying, no, no, it was me who was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm the one who owes you the apology. Okay. And that's how you get an honest apology out of some people sometimes. Okay. They're just too scared to do it. So you got to help them with it a little bit. All right. So that was just a little trick I'd learned while we were busting out some images here. And yes, with the faces, because it's very crucial that you get this stamped into your brain and it's for your own good. Listen to the people here in this chat. They can kind of help you understand why it's for your own good, too. Okay, then we got this crazy face out by the moon. Oh, pause here. Come back here. I want one image where it's brown and white, right there. Pause. Get rid of that chat. I just want the image. All right, there's my face shining down on you. All right, that's what I look like. So we got that image and we got this image. All right, perfect. Let's see here. So let's go back to that other image for a minute. Oh, you know what we can do here too? Instead of just staring at the same one, I want this moving because that image actually should be moving. Mm-hmm. Oh, back when I had a family. Please, Lord, can we pop open this part? What's going on, Google? This is the one I want right here. Well, it's kind of important that you see these faces in the clouds because it's my face that's in the clouds there, okay? You're caught up with me in the clouds here. Okay, so we got that one. And here I am. My love goes to the moon and back for you, okay? I'll go to the moon and back for you. So there's my face. There's this event on Easter. And then here we have it turning into the lion face. All right, so yeah, breaking the ice sometimes. And, you know, it's not like you have to mean your apology. It's just a way to kind of break the ice so they can get, you know, it helps them. All right. I think you guys understand how that works here. All right. Also, something I need to this is one of my old sayings, and I used to type it in the chat room all the time, but I've really never said it here at my channel. And it's important to say this because in a world of lies, the truth sounds crazy. Okay? This is a fallen world. You are in a world of lies. They lie to you in the media. They lie to you everywhere you go is lie, 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 lie. Okay, so you live in a world of lies. In order for you to communicate with each other, you have to lie to each other because there is not much truth on this planet. Okay, so in a world of lies, when you're sucked into that paradigm and you believe everything on the media like it's the gospel, this looks crazy. In a world of lies, the truth sounds crazy, right? But for me, the world looks crazy. Now that you see this, doesn't the world look a little crazy and you're not the crazy one? You're the sane one. See, we have a state of mass psychosis in this country. Everybody's been pre programmed, brainwashed with negativity and evil thoughts and murderous, adulterous thoughts, and it's not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be taking care of each other, not stabbing each other in the back. So, I want you to think about this. In a world of lies, the truth sounds crazy. Now, if I were to say that this is my face, that would be the truth. But doesn't that sound crazy? Oh, it does, doesn't it? So maybe I am telling the truth in this world of lies. Maybe I am telling the truth because I am the truth. There's so much going on in here that you're not thinking about that I'm trying to open your mind to. This is a miracle that you're looking at. Happened on Easter. A 2,000-year-old prophecy came true on Easter. So remember that. In a world of lies, the truth sounds crazy. So if you guys have been stuck in that paradigm of listening to the media and believing what you see and hear from all these different sources of information, you have been shoved into a paradigm, a different way of thinking. They have programmed you. You're like a zombie. Well, not if you've been here at this channel. Not the people here at this channel. There's a select few here. Many are called, but few are chosen. So when you look at that, I want you to think about this. I am the truth, the one who came to set you free. As the Holy Spirit controls your mind and actions more fully, you become free in me. Okay? Your Holy Spirit controls your mind and your actions more fully now. Now that you've become free in me, have you practiced what I've been trying to help you guys with in your step work here? Because that'll help you become free in me, because I am the truth, the one who comes to set you free. Now, as the Holy Spirit controls your mind and actions more fully, you become free in me. You are increasingly released to become the one I created you to be. This is the work that I do in you as you yield to my spirit. I can do my best handwork when you sit in the stillness of my presence, focusing your entire being on me. I do my best work when you sit in the stillness of my presence, focusing your entire being on me and my voice. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out. When you sit in the stillness of my presence, okay? Now, let my thoughts burst freely upon your consciousness, stimulating abundant life. I am the way and the truth and the life. So as you follow me, I lead you along paths of newness, ways you've never even imagined. So don't worry about what is on the road up ahead. I want you to find your security right now in knowing me, the one who died to set you free. Okay? You should be free here at this show. This should be stillness. This should be focusing your entire being on me and being still in my presence. Um mm, Here's another one. So when you guys are starting your day, all right, my day's brutal. Okay, sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. I'm in a lot of pain. Okay, and I got a lot of work to do. So each day when you get out of bed in the morning, try to be aware of my presence with you. You may not be thinking clearly yet, but I am. And your early morning thoughts tend to be anxious ones until you get connected with me. So, your early morning thoughts tend to be anxious ones until you get connected with me. Invite me into your thoughts by whispering my name in the morning, and suddenly your day brightens and feels more user friendly. You cannot dread a day that is vibrant with my presence. Okay? It's impossible to dread a day that is vibrant with my presence. So, early in the morning when you're getting up, just simple little connection with me, it just sets your day up in a better way and it makes your whole day more user friendly. Okay? Trying to set you up for success. Oh, wait. I'll write that down right now. Hold your horses, people. How'd that go, Lord? Tell me again. Oh yeah, my work. Uh, um. Okay. All right. Let me just write this down real quick so I don't forget it. All right. I'm gonna finish this off, and we'll get to what just came in there. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Don't worry about what is on the road up ahead. I want you to find your security now in knowing me, the one who died to set you free. Um, hmm. As you gain confidence through knowing that I am with you, through knowing now, okay, you can see you are knowing now. It's your faith has been taken to a new level. That's the rapture right there. You are caught up. You're interested in me in the clouds. So you're caught up in the moment. You're caught up with me in the clouds. It's not like you got lifted up into the clouds like the movies portray. You're actually interested, you're intrigued, you're caught up in the moment, you're caught up with me in the clouds. Okay, so if you're caught up with me in the clouds and I am talking to you live in the cyberspace in the air, you met me live on YouTube, that's in the air, so you are raptured technically. Now your belief has gone, or your faith has gone to knowing. That's what rapturing kind of is. Now you have a new feeling inside of you. You have a new confidence. You have a new joy. You have a new peace that transcends all the stuff that's going on in the news. Mm, mm, mm. I want you to find your security right now in knowing me. Get to know me. Okay? That's why you're here. You hear my voice, you see my face, you're getting to know me. Okay. So, back to when you're getting out of bed, you you're having anxious thoughts. You need to connect with me because that makes the rest of your day user friendly. You can't dread a day that has my presence in it. So, as you gain confidence through knowing that I am with you, that you face nothing alone, all of a sudden anxiety stems from asking the wrong questions. So wait. I got these mixed up here. What? Anxiety stems from asking the wrong questions. If such and such happens, can I handle it? Well, the true question is not whether you can cope with it, whatever happens, but whether you and I together can handle what happens. Okay, so anxiety stems from asking the wrong questions. If this happens, what if that happens? What if that happens? Quit asking those questions and just start asking, well, whatever happens, you and I can handle it together. Okay, and it gives you confidence knowing that you face nothing alone, and it quashes your anxiety. Um, what else did I have there? I think that was not set. Okay, here we go. A long-term problem can become an idol. All right, I think we'll just leave this. We don't need the other pictures. We'll just leave it there. So, long-term problems can become an idol. When you're troubled by a situation that just won't go away, it's important to monitor your thoughts. An ongoing difficulty can occupy more and more of your thinking until it looms in idolatrous proportions. Okay? Your worries and your troubled situation can become an idol. Okay? And that's what we're trying to avoid. Okay, so your difficulties can occupy more of your thinking until it becomes an idol, casting ugly shadows on the landscape of your mind. So when you realize this has happened, confess it to me. Pour out your feelings as you seek to break free from the hurtful preoccupation. Pour out your feelings as you seek to break free. Acknowledge your weakness in the face of this hardship and humble yourself under my mighty hand. A problem preoccupation makes you anxious. That's where your anxiety is coming because you're preoccupied with your problems. That's what makes you anxious. So quit being preoccupied with the problems. A problem preoccupation makes you anxious. So I urge you to cast all of your anxiety on me. I have the gnarliest anxiety attack, and I can handle it with the strength Jesus gives me, okay? So cast it on me. Um, hmm. The problem preoccupation makes you anxious. Cast your anxieties on me, trusting that I do care for you. You may have to do this thousands of times each day, but don't give up. Each time you cast your worry on me, you are redirecting your attention from your problems to my loving presence. Whoops, did you just hear that right there? Therein lies your key. Okay? When you're redirecting your attention from your problems to my presence, my loving presence, okay? Redirecting your attention. That's the trick. Redirecting your attention. Shit starting to get crazy, stressing you out. Take your mind off of what's stressing you out, your anxiety. Redirect your attention from your problems to my presence, knowing that I'm here with you now. Okay? That this is all true. That you have already been, quote, kind of raptured. You are caught up with me in the clouds here, We have met in the air via the internet and the cyberspace. How would you say cyberspace way back then? Think about it. How would you say the word cyberspace way back then? Well, it would have to be kind of, I guess, in the air. You would meet in the air, I guess, something along that. When you think about it, each time you cast your worrisome concerns on me, you are redirecting your attention from your problems to my presence. To strengthen these transactions, you can thank me for caring so much for you. And remember that I not only died for you, I live. I live to make intercession for you. Remember that I not only died for you, I live to make intercession for you. Redirecting your attention from your problems to my presence. The moment you do that, you should, oh man, my problems aren't all that bad after all. Because I know where I'm going to go. I'm going to heaven. Yeah, this is just a testing ground. I see it. I'm being tested. Okay. Now, my work. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I'm going to let you guys in on my personal life a little bit. And what I'm working on right now, my current little mental health thing that I'm working on at the moment. So, I used to be very tolerant, very patient, and lately, okay, first off, the PTSD, the event that happened to me, I still can't describe to you guys because it is so wild and off the hook you wouldn't believe me. So it was a very traumatic event, and it gave me some PTSD, some very, very violent, bad PTSD, anxiety attacks like, yeah, you don't want to know. But through going through therapy and using the tools I learned and stuff that I found that Jesus actually helped me with my PTSD. This image right here helped me with my stress. This whole process and understanding that it's okay took my PTSD away. Okay, so that's one of the things that already happened as far as helping me. These images already, the side effect of this stuff happening to me actually helping me at the same time. You get that? This is very disturbing when it happens to you. It makes you very, well, it just makes you, there's not a word for it. So, in order to get over that PTSD, the only thing that helps you really, and will help any soldier or anybody who's been abused or has any kind of, violence in their history and they're scarred, this helps with your PTSD. Okay. Now, so I was working on my PTSD. That helped it. That cured it right there. So no longer too bad. It's no longer too bad. I've learned to deal with it and approach the problem, my fears or whatever. Now, my latest work is I get irritated, all right? I think we all get irritated, and this is where I kind of want you guys to catch on and relate a little bit. So, I've been getting irritated lately, and it was like, well, what is it? What's irritating you? So, I kind of looked around and I studied, and I realized, okay, what's irritating me right now, in my world is um, I'm injured. Okay, I'm not looking for sympathy, but it's just I need to explain to you. I have multiple injuries. My body's shattered, right, and it's very painful to move. So doing, for you doing grocery shopping isn't very well. It's just grocery shopping. For me, to get across the parking lot from my car to the front door is a battle, let alone going up and down the aisles or pushing a car or any of that part. It's just a huge, huge battle for me everywhere I go and trying to do things. Okay. So when I sacrifice a lot of time and pain and energy and effort to do something nice, for someone, and then it doesn't get recognized, and then there's a complaint. Instead of recognition of what was done, it's an immediate complaint, and it's the complaint that irritated me. And I'm like, oh my god, and it's understandable. I mean, you guys would probably have a similar reaction, okay? But I have learned that I have to address it, and I knew a similar scenario was coming up today, and sure enough, it presented itself. I had a feeling that I knew it was coming, so I kind of prepared myself in advance. And then when it happened, I didn't overreact and say the wrong thing and make the situation worse. Because even though it's bad, it could have been made worse by my reaction. So it's very, very delicate work that we do. We're tolerant. Okay. I have to remember that these people don't understand the pain that I'm in. Okay. They just see me going to the grocery store like everybody else sees, right? But they don't understand the sacrifice and the pain and the agony, um and get frustrated with the people who aren't aware. You know, you got a lot of people on their phones these days who are just not aware. And I have a limp. It hurts to walk. It's excruciatingly painful just to watch me walk. I, I see people's reaction when they look at me. They wince in pain when they look at me because of the way I walk. It's excruciating. So when somebody cuts in front of you or stops right in front of you to look at their phone, it makes you have to stop. It's painful to slow up and stop when you got two shattered hips. You know, it hurts. Every step hurts. So, but it's the lack of consideration for others that's on display in this world that frustrates me, right? And we're all in the same boat, okay? And sometimes I have to look at this image and just go, forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. They know not what they do. And that helps. That helps me get through the day. And, you know, I was working hard today at staying calm. At the moment something pops up, okay, revert right back to Jesus. Help me. Okay, help me, Jesus. I'm doing it again. I'm getting wound up again. Take a few deep breaths, calm down, and back to business. All right. It's all about regaining composure again after, you know, each little trial. And I have my own issues, and I'm working on trying to be tolerant and understanding that even though people don't see your sacrifice and they complain, they don't see your sacrifice and they complain. I'm still tolerant, but it takes some work. You have to be tolerant. You have to understand they know not what they do. Okay, I have a little more knowledge, a little advanced knowledge, and it becomes this knowledge becomes a burden when you see the rest of society that doesn't know and they're stumbling around and you're like, get out of my way, dude. Pull your head out of your butt. I'm trying to get somewhere and do something. I am a man on a mission. I have 200 things on a list that I need to do, and I'm a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. So get out of my way. But little things, people, you know, on their phones sit through a whole green light, and by the time they look up from their phone, the light's turning yellow and they make it through, but there's another 10 minutes I had to sit there because of somebody. Lord, I'm doing it again. Okay, they know not what they do. Okay, help me, Lord, be tolerant, accepting. Even though it's an AA saying, and we're going to get this saying in you guys anyways, because we're working steps the same steps, but not necessarily for alcoholics. But God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I'm sitting there at the red light now because the guy in front of me used up the whole green light on his phone and jammed it at the yellow, and now I'm sitting for another 10 minutes at the at a red light. I'm definitely going to be way behind now. Uh, Dinner will be at least an hour later now because of the 5 minute setback turns into 15 once you get into line, once you get to there. So, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, even courage to change the things I can. Shoot, God, grant me the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, that's not necessarily for alcoholics. That's a code of life to live by. When you're having issues, God, grant me the serenity. You know what serenity is? It's peace. Okay? Chaos going all around you. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can. Well, what are the things I can change? Well, you can change yourself. That's about all you can change is yourself. So now we know the key. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change myself, and the wisdom to know the difference. You guys, we're making spiritual progress. If any of you guys, and I know a couple of you in here have already worked the steps, and you know what the 12th step says. Oh yeah, having had a what? Ooh, having step 12 says having had a spiritual awakening due to the steps. See where we're going? Yeah, a spiritual awakening. And we're going to work these steps. It's for your own good. I mean, how bad do you want it? Work them. It's going to bring you peace as well as incorporated with this, you'll be untouchable. All right? You will be bulletproof. You'll get up in the morning, even though you're sore and tired, you'll understand what's going on. And you'll be like, thank you for another opportunity, Lord, to go out there and salvage a day. The day's going to have a rough spot in it. When you hit those bumps during the day, don't let those bumps ruin the rest of your day. You have to recover and salvage the rest of that day or salvage the situation. You guys are now in the salvage industry, okay? And sometimes that's a good reminder. Say to yourself, I'm in the salvage industry. I'm a spiritual warrior who rescues a day. I refuse to let something negative during the day ruin the rest of the day or ruin somebody else's day because of my reaction, right? So that's why we're working on these techniques. You guys have already done the first 3 steps already. Have you admitted that you're afflicted, that you got suckered in by schooling and by the media into that paradigm of how to view this world? You are looking at this world from a different perspective. Okay, you had your Bible open and you had your faith and you were looking at the news and everybody was playing you like a fiddle. And now you are no longer being played like a fiddle. You know the absolute truth now. Okay, so you were afflicted. Can you admit that you were afflicted? Can you just admit that, oh my God, I was duped? See, my mom used to have this saying, and it's a good one. It's easier to tell someone a lie than to convince them that they've been lied to. Oh, it's easier to what? Convince someone of a lie than to convince them that they've been lied to. See, everybody here has been lied to, and it's hard to convince you that you live in fantasy land, that this is what's real, okay? In a world of lies, the truth sounds crazy. But you're in a crazy world, and this is the truth. Are we in a crazy world? Yes or no? Yes. Then this must be the truth. Because in a world of lies or in a crazy world, The truth sounds crazy. In a world of lies, this stuff sounds insane. But when you live outside of that paradigm, outside of that world of lies, you can clearly see the truth and you can hear the truth because I am the truth. All right, back to work here. Yeah, so I'm working on the forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Okay, and you guys got to do that same thing too. We're getting into self forgiveness. All right, we're asking the Lord for forgiveness. Okay, now how? If he can forgive you of everything you've done and you can't forgive yourself, you're saying that his forgiveness is no good, that yours is somehow better or whatever. You need to learn. If he forgives you, you should be able to. Okay? You have to get over some of your hangups and move forward in life. What you've been doing is you like metaphorically you put this backpack on and insisted on picking up other people's rocks and throwing them in your backpack and then complaining this backpack's getting kind of heavy. Well, then why do you keep loading it up? It's you that's doing it. So it's 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 you, and you're your own worst enemy, and I'm trying to help you see that you got some soul searching to do. You need to do a little bit of work. We're not perfect, okay? We could all use some work. All right, we're building character here. It's progress, not perfection. Okay, everybody's like, "Oh my God, I'm still sinning," and as long as you are hungry to get better, you have that hunger in your heart. You want to do better. You're not the other way around going, "Yeah, I can't wait and do worse. I can't wait until this show goes down so I can kill a bunch of people and rob banks." If you have that kind of mentality, well, that's a different kind of mentality, isn't it? All right, so just to kind of be open and honest with you guys, I'm still working on my stuff. I'm working on my sacrifice not being appreciated. Sound familiar? Well, you know what's weird is I can sure relate. Well, with what I'm going through in my real life, I can sure relate right here to his sacrifice not being appreciative and how tolerant he has to be with all of that. It's very delicate and you have to be strong. Because you have to be strong because in a world of lies, the truth sounds crazy. And sometimes saying sorry can break the ice so the other person can be free to actually do the real apology that they wanted to do, but didn't have the intestinal fortitude because they don't have this in them. They've never worked steps before. They don't know what spirituality is. They're dead inside. You guys aren't though. You guys are vibrant, aren't you? Um. Um. Oh yeah. What time are we at? Okay, we still got some time here. I've got another thing here for you. I want you guys to know. I want you guys to know this. Get this into your inner being. I can smooth out all the tangled up places, including the ones in your mind and your heart. So come to me just as you are with all your problems, these knotted, like tied up knots, these knotty type looking problems, and then coming out of it is all these frayed loose ends. Okay, so you are just you're just all these knotty problems with loose ends frayed all over the place. So come to me just like that. Come to me just as you are, frazzled, frayed with all your knotty problems and loose ends. Many of your difficulties are complicated by other people's perplexities. I repeat, many of your difficulties are complicated by other people's perplexities, aren't they? It can be hard to sort out how much of the mess is yours and how much is theirs. It can be hard to sort out how much is theirs and yours, huh? So be willing to take responsibility for your own mistakes and sin without feeling responsible for the sinful failures of others. Okay? Be willing to take responsibility for your stuff. Okay? Be willing to say that sorry. It doesn't have to be a heartfelt sorry. It's the icebreaker. Be willing to try that. Be willing. Take responsibility for your own mistakes and your own sin, but don't feel responsible for the sinful failures of others. I'm here to help you untangle your complex problems and find the best way to go forward. Okay? Christianity is really about transformation. Okay? Christianity is really about transformation, and it's a lifelong process. Okay? Some of the knots from your past are hard to untie. You get me? Some of these knots, you have cinched them down and you've tied them off. You've double knotted them, quadruple knotted them, put a sailor knot on it and stuff, and they're hard to untangle. Okay? So you've spent this whole lifetime tying these knots. Sometimes the knots from your past are hard to untie, and especially when they involve people who continue to hurt you. People who continue to hurt you. Oh dear. Now we're talking about your loved ones, huh? The people who continue to hurt you. Yeah, some of the knots from your past are hard to untie because they involve people who continue to this day to hurt you, huh? So, beware of getting stuck in the introspection or obsessing about how to fix this. Instead, keep turning toward me, seeking my face and my will, then wait with me, trusting in my timing for the unscrambling of things, making your way clear. Okay? So, instead of trying to obsess or introspect on how to fix this stuff, just turn towards me, seek my face and my will, and wait with me, trusting in my timing. Okay? And I will unscramble all those problems. So, don't let them be your focus. My presence in the present is your portion and your boundless blessing. My presence in the present is your portion. Are you guys getting your portion right now? Good, good, good. Ooh, yes. Devote yourself to prayer with an alert mind and a thankful heart. My followers, praying is a way of life and a way of staying in connection with me. So, devote yourself to prayer with an alert mind and a thankful heart. The evil one disdains your devotion to me. His demonic underlings work to interrupt and weaken your communication with me, don't they? Don't those media outlets, and don't they work double time? Oh, look at Trump, and Trump's doing this, and oh my God, there's a huge lawsuit that's going on. Oh my God, look over here. To take your focus off of me. Okay, so the evil one, the media, disdains your devotion to me. The media, his demonic underlings, the politicians, the media, we all see it. The demonic underlings work to interrupt and weaken your communications with me. So it's crucial for you to be committed to this discipline and determined to stay in touch with me. You can train yourself to call on me even while you're engaging in other activities. This invites me into your world, helping your work to go better and your life to be more fulfilling. Your work is better, your life is more fulfilling now, isn't it? It's also important to set aside time to focus just on communicating with me. It's important to set aside time to focus on communicating with me. This can be quite challenging. So, to pray effectively, you need an alert mind and a thankful heart. Ask my spirit, the Holy Spirit, the helper inside you, to empower your prayers. If you're having problems with your prayers, ask the Holy Spirit to empower your prayers, increasing your mental alertness and your thankfulness. A wide awake mind and a grateful heart will help you not only pray better, but also live better. And then give thanks to me and praise what I'm trying to do here. You can train yourself to call on me even while engaged in other activities. It is possible to think of two things at once or do two things at once. All right. When you're doing it through me, there you go. Your work is through me. Where did I have that work part? Yeah. Nope, that's not it. It's also important to set aside time to focus on communicating. It invites me into your world, helping your work to go better and your life to be more fulfilling. So when you know what you're working for, all of a sudden you do your work with a different style now. You have a new pep in your step. Um, your life is more fulfilling now. Now that you have purpose in your life, what was the meaning of life? What are we doing here? Aha! Now we know the meaning of life. It's a test of character and a test of your faith. Okay, we're building character here. Dang, that's all I had pulled aside there for that. Yeah, so I'm still doing my own work here, you guys. I'm right here with you, still doing spiritual work. I'm on the side, on my own, in my own life here. I've dealt with a lot of things and overcome a lot of things. And lately, the one thing that was irritating me, or my issue lately, was I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I realized, oh, wait a second. I get irritated when somebody complains about my sacrifice. Ah, that's what it is. So now when I sacrifice and I'm about to show somebody, or I can expect a complaint and it won't upset me so much. It won't offend, right? Or, get you. So that's what I'm working on myself, okay? And you guys will probably run into this in your life as well. So use the techniques I just told you that I did, and it might help you, okay? We're always doing work. Okay, we're working on ourselves here, addressing our own issues, being honest with ourselves. So in your step 4, when it says thorough, what I want as thorough is thoroughly truthful. It doesn't have to be every single positive aspect and every single negative aspect about you. No, no, no. I want thorough as in the real issue. What's the secret that's been hiding in your closet? Was it a molestation? Did you have family issues? Was it this or that? What was it in your past? Let's deal with it. Let's put it out on the table. I've been there. I've done it. I've seen it all. I can relate. Okay? That's what helps you is I can relate. When you realize you're not the only one, that helps free you up a little bit. You can take some of the rocks out of that backpack and you're like, oh, I'm not the only one. So somebody else is going through the very same thing that I am? Yes. And then all of a sudden you have somebody who can relate. All right. That's what your step 5 is going to be. That's why it's important to get these moral things, your inventory. Just do a quick one. It doesn't have to be a million things, but do like the most important things that come to mind. Confess them. Confess them to the Lord. You could confess them to your pastor at your church if you need a person, or a church member, or somebody that can relate to you, okay? Because it's the confessing of that fourth step when you now tell your sponsor or you confess it to the Lord or to another person, a weight is lifted off your shoulders. And I want that weight off your shoulders as soon as possible. So do not put this off. The longer you put off doing this moral inventory and confessing it, the longer you're going to be trapped in bondage. Okay, so get it over with, get it done. You're going to be doing it every day as a practice anyway, so start doing it now. After this show, you don't have to write down a big old list. You can if you want. You can go to the AA book and find the template. But that's for addiction. We're doing affliction. It's the same process. You could replace alcohol with any addiction, your phone addiction, your sex addiction, your porn addiction, your any kind of addiction or anything that's got your mind problem, trapped in your mind, your bondage in your mind to. We can free you of that. Okay, and then when you're free of it, something happens. A spiritual awakening happens inside of you. A what? A spiritual awakening. And that's where we're going. You guys will all completed the steps. You'll have attained the real spiritual awakening, and you will be able to carry the message to other fellow afflicted as a message of hope. Just like in you guys seeing how this works? How it works? Yeah. I learned a lot in this life. I learned some good tools, and I got a toolbox full of real tools that really work, and I'm going to help you. Why? Because I love you. And I think that might be it for now. So remember, saying sorry breaks the ice. You could probably a couple of old relationships that are all shattered where you could go not rescue it, but maybe make amends. And if you have to apologize first to break the ice to get that person to, do their part as well. Okay. We're trying to keep your side of the street clean. Okay. So you're all good in your head. You know that you're doing the right thing and you can sleep at night. All right. Then once you can get to that, you can spread it to others. Try the saying sorry thing. It might not work. You might get shot down and it might not work. But I have done it several times, and if you heard how I described it, it does. It kind of sets the other person free to actually do the apology because they were the one that was in the wrong. They want to apologize. They don't have the guts to do it. And then that would be admitting fault. So the moment you start to admit fault and say, oh, I'm sorry, but you're not admitting fault, you're saying, I'm sorry you took it that way or you perceived it that way. So it's an apology, kinda, in a way, but it's to break the ice. You understand how this works, right? In a world of lies, the truth sounds crazy. Doesn't this sound crazy? That's because you're in a world of lies. And if you are in a world of lies, then this must be the truth. You guys need to start wrapping your head around this stuff seriously, okay? Because this is for real. These are real tools for a real time when you're going to need them. You guys are already practicing them. I know a couple of you people stayed calm today. You were using it and you were like, oh, here it comes. I think I'm going to lose it. And you were able to stay calm a lot better than you did the day before or the day before that. You're making progress each day with your frustrations, with your tolerance and acceptance, and it's not it's not you that's crazy. It's probably them. But don't worry about them. Work on your side of the street so you're all good inside yourself. Okay. Um. I can't do that. That's a totally different. Okay, yeah. So for right now, you're kind of guys are kind of doing homework. Go listen to the music. Listen to the code in the music. That'll also reassure you when you start hearing it and everything. You're gonna go, oh boy, that's not a joke. That is totally serious too. Then you will know I'm telling you the truth, and then this will sink in deeper. Okay, we're going deeper. We're trying to get this to fill up every crevice. Okay, so when you hear the code in the music, that's as part of this as well, reassuring you. Okay, you're you're living in a temporal world. All right, you're gonna die someday eventually.